Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabe Randall, and today I wanted to go over some different financial stuff. This will be interesting. I'm going to go over statistics about finances, and then after that, I'm going to go over a few different things that teens can do to continue to learn about and stay on top of finances. So here we go. Okay, so the first one, this is the statistics are from Choose Five Foundation, and their goal is to just increase financial literacy all over. And here we go. So their first one is one in five teens lack a basic foundation to build on for financial literacy. So this was according to the 2015 PISA study. Um, 22% of teens lack a foundation to build financial skill. If you had to add, if you were asking me, I would say it's even less than 22%. Sorry, even more than 22% because uh, that's just something that we're not taught very well. That's kind of, in some houses, it's taboo to even talk about money. And so it's just avoided. And so I'm surprised that that's even 22%. Um, The next one is teens spent an average of $2,150 in 2022. Um, that doesn't surprise me. That sounds about right. I'm definitely more conservative in what I do with my money, but that sounds right. I don't know where they get the money because most of these teens don't have jobs, so I don't know where they're getting that money. Um, Okay, here we go. So 74% of teens don't feel confident about their financial education. This is why I thought the previous stat about the one in five lack basic foundation to build on financial literacy. I thought that was interesting. So the that's almost three-fourths of teens don't feel confident about their financial education because it's just not something that's taught. If it is taught, then usually it's in a manner that is boring or just doesn't capture somebody's attention. We go through all of middle school, high school, and we just don't learn about finances, which is definitely something that we need to work on because the whole point of school is to learn what we need to learn for life so that we can actually apply it in life. Um, 46% of teens don't know what a 401k is. This is a really big thing. If you start investing into your 401k at 18, I don't know the exact numbers for it. I'd have to run it, but you can be actually, let me find the numbers for it. Okay, I'm actually coming back and re-recording this part of the video. I realized so I switched to a 401k calculator and the numbers didn't seem right. So I used a different one. I came back and did a different one. So here's what the calculator looks like. Um, okay. So what we put in some numbers. Uh, say we're 18. Current annual salary is 400, sorry, 40,000. Um, Current balance 2,000. And we're contributing 10% of our salary every year. So that's 4,000 a year. Um, Retiring at 65. So I put that through the calculator. Um, the expected rate of return actually, right now it says 6. I think it should be closer to 7 right now. Um, okay, so I put that through and it says 2,121,591. The last calculator I used, it said 13 million, which shocked me. It didn't seem right. This seems a lot closer to what it should be. Um, so if you just turn 18 or 19, then you can be a multimillionaire by the time you retire. just following this. So this would be outside of any additional business ventures or whatever. You could be a millionaire by the time you retire. Many people don't realize that, and so let's see, they start. Say you're 30 and you start investing. So I'm going to change the age to 30. And at 30, you're going to be paid a little bit more. So let's change this to 70,000. Um, you haven't realized that you could start investing into this 401k yet. And so again, we're going to keep the current balance as 2,000. Still going to put in 10% and still retiring at 65. So with this, that is only $1,445,488. Which this is nice. It actually says this is the equivalent of $513,702 of purchasing power today. Um, which in the scheme of things, it is a lot, but since the value of money is going down, then your what you have in your 401k is also gonna the value of that's gonna go down. Um, but it also has compounding interest. So uh, this is something that people don't know about. The sooner you put the money start putting money into account, the more time it has to grow. So if you start this at 18 again, um, and sorry, I'm going to change the numbers back to 40. Okay, so if you start then you have so much more. Um, that's a few $100,000 increase of money in your 401k. Um, and so I think that people don't realize that the sooner that they get on top of this, the better uh, ending outcome they'll have. Um, and I think I think this is just something that people don't realize that they can do, and so I kind of wanted to raise awareness when uh, this is going to send you back into the next part of the video. I just had to re-record that part. Okay, thanks. Sorry. Continuing on, 32% of teens can't identify the difference between a credit card and a debit card. Um, a debit card comes straight from the money that you already have. A credit card, you have to, you're going through a company and you're paying with their money, and then uh, you have to pay them back. Usually that's in a monthly format. You just pay them back at the end of the month. Um, Many people go into debt because they don't end up paying off what they owe, and so then they have credit card debt, and which is really bad. Another thing for later. Um, let's see. Okay, 21% of Americans have no emergency savings. This is probably a big one because emergencies happen all the time. They happen when you least expect them. No, Dave Ramsey would say that you should always have 3 to 6 months of expenses. As a teen, it's not as big of a thing. Maybe keep $500 as an emergency fund. If you drop your phone somewhere, it cracks and you have to pay for it, um, then that's your backup right there. Um, but for as you start getting older and having more expenses, you need to have that emergency fund because things happen and it does not look pretty if you aren't ready. Um, 4 out of 5 parents wish that they learned more about money as they were a kid. And 50, almost 60% of parents are uncomfortable talking to kids about money. Um, that's that sounds about right to me. It's sometimes if you weren't even taught how to do money and you're just kind of throwing effort into there, but not really knowing like what to expect, um, then you don't really feel ready to teach your kids about that. And so again, that's why it's good to start learning about what you can do with your money and how that should look. I'm going to go on to this is on Bank of America. It was just the five most important financial lessons for teens. It had cool graphics, so I liked it. Um, the first one they say know where the money comes from. Uh, 64% of us receive money as gifts, birthdays, Christmas, whatever. 32% of teens get allowance. Um, my parents have always given me my age each month worth of money. So right now I'm 17, so then I'd get 17. I've seen some families with bigger allowances. Uh, but again, it doesn't even matter if you don't teach your kid how to use that. Um, and 22% of teens have jobs. Even if you have a job, you can still end up wasting your money if you don't know how to use it. Um, so they're number two, understanding the benefits of saving. Most teens save their money by putting away a little each month so that they can grow into big savings over time. Um, so they're saying right here, if you save $25 a month, you in 1 year you'll have $300. Um, and if you if you save $50 a month, you'll have $600. Um, so I feel like it's knowing knowing that you can start accumulating money and then you have it there for when you need it, like when you're trying to make bigger purchases. Um, let's see, track expenses to stay on budget. In 2022, the average American spent $2,150 across a range of categories like food, clothing, and entertainment. Um, so it looks like 40% of that was on fashion and personal care, which is fine. Fun and social is 37%. I'm surprised that fun and social isn't more than fashion and personal care. Maybe it's probably including clothes and products and stuff. Um, for established good credit, that's not as important for uh, teens yet. Um, if you if you're 18 or older and you don't know how to use money, it's not wise to get a credit card yet because if you're not going to be able to stay on top of that, then things will go haywire. You'll end up not paying the monthly payments, and then you'll be behind, and you'll start building up even more debt. Um, so it's good to have a good grasp of knowledge on what you're doing before you actually get into it. Uh, the okay, $2,319 dollars is the average amount of credit card debt that Americans have by 20. Uh, so that means that by the time Americans are 20 years old, they already have $2,000 in credit card debt that they haven't paid off, I guess. Um, and then thinking long term, this will be interesting. Focusing on the future can help teens start saving their own money and teach them to better accomplish the goals they set for themselves. So this is what teens think. 35 percent think that they'll have 100,000 saved by the time they're 30. You're not going to have $100,000 saved by the time you're 30 if you don't know what you're doing. Um, I, I don't know the percentages, but most people still live paycheck to paycheck. And so if you don't know what you're doing, then you're not going to have 100,000 by the time you're 30. Uh, 43% plan to pay off student loans by the age of 30. I think that if the best thing would be to avoid the student loans as much as you can, getting the scholarships, paying off the debt as fast as you can, uh, because the debt really just prohibits you as a uh, 20-year-old getting out of college. That's not what you want. You want to be free. You want to have more freedom than that. Um, Especially getting out of college, there's programs you can do if you have the money, and student loan debt just kind of throws you into the deep end. You can't do anything if you don't pay that. That's like you're a slave to the lender. Um, and 66% believe that they'll have a home by age 30. So that this means that they would have to pay up the 20% down payment, which is the normal uh, thing. So if they're getting a $300,000 house, they'd have to have 60,000 to pay for this house if they're getting a conventional loan from the bank. Um, so I think all of these are interesting facts about like finances for younger people. These resources that I just showed you, most of them were kind of statistic based instead of advice based. So I hope that kind of opens your eyes as to what finances look like in the family and home and as an individual. And I hope that just kind of spikes in interest. Um, and if you're interested in another video kind of like this, tell me in the comments below. And thank you for watching my video, and I'll catch you in the next one.